everybody, and welcome to the newest indoor adventure in Monster Noire, a homebrew setting that was created by our dear friend GB. Today is March 18th, 2020, and you are loved. And I know that there are a lot of you who are staying inside. Good for you. If you aren't, I am hoping that it is because you are incapable of doing so. Otherwise, welcome to the show. That's about it for the intro, I guess. Other than, hey, if this is your first time checking us out, consider going to youtube.com/indooradventures. We have a huge backlog spanning about a year and a half of actually being a Twitch channel, so it's the perfect thing to binge right now. Or if you want to do other stuff around the house but you still want to listen to us, consider going to anywhere where podcasts are made available for free, and you can find us under the same moniker. If you like what you hear, consider going to patreon.com/indooradventures, where you can help support the show and also gain access to our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from the community but also from each other in a podcast-like format. If you already support us via Patreon, YouTube, Twitch, all of those things, consider then going to indooradventure.redbubble.com. That is Indoor Adventure, no S at the end, where you can find yourself to be the proud owner of mugs, t-shirts, posters, stickers, shower curtains, all sorts of things we got right there, ready and waiting. So, with that being said, that is it for my spiel. Hey, Satan, who you playing tonight?
Hello everyone, I am Satan and I'll be playing Lilith, the vampire mobster.
Alright, and Danae, who are you playing?
I am Danae Keener and I'm going to be playing as Ruhaka, the professor?
Question mark?
Professor of mythology.
There
And I definitely don't know about any of this magic bullshit.
It is your turn, Jen.
I'm Jen. I'm playing Beltane Hawthorne, the Fae mobster and right hand to Lilith.
I am the Indoor Adventurer, and tonight I'll be playing Kane, also known as sometimes Keys. And that's it for me. So, GB.
I'm Greybeard7, and tonight I'll be the Spookmaster, I guess, here for Monster Noire. Shall we just jump right in? Do we have any other housekeeping?
I would say give a brief description of Monster Noire. We only play this game once a month, so for all you new people out there joining us.
No worries, just some armor falling.
Of course.
All right. The Monster Noire is a game that we came up with at 1 a.m. the night before we were going to play it. We played it that evening, and we had such fun with it. We loved the characters and the system so much that we stuck with it and are playing it still. So what it is it's like supernatural Hellboy, that genre of monster of the week kind of thing, except we are the monsters. Well, they are the monsters, and we are it's kind of fate dungeon world mashup, and it takes place in the roaring 20s of America. That's I think that's a good synopsis. Anything else we need to put in there?
No, I think that's it.
Okay, then usually when we start Monster Noire, we zoom in above the port. Not this time. This time, we are coming along a dark road. We are driving through the forest, and the headlights of this 1920s truck, like a panel truck, is driving along, and we pass a sign. The sign says, "Welcome to Port Cloveraft, a happy town by the sea." And the truck passes by, and as we see the taillights of the truck fade past the sign, and the sign itself kind of goes black, a little bit of moonlight on it, just enough so we can still read it, the truck suddenly swerves one way and the other way. We hear the screeching tires, and we hear a crash in the woods. the horn sounds and dies. Then we're at Lilith. Lilith, it's St. Patrick's Day. What are you doing?
I am making sure that the town is taken care of on such a festive day. And
It's been rough. Prohibition's on, and someone's been heisting your trucks.
my fucking trucks.
Yeah, your werewolf guardians, your truckers of booze have been under attack.
Under attack.
The booze keeps going missing. For
Mm,
some reason, can't seem to get to town.
all right. Belton, make sure to set up extra guards in the entryway of the road.
All right.
I want to know who is fucking with me. And I want to show them why they shouldn't. They're costing me money.
Don't bet with the boss's money. Got it.
All right, Beltane. With that, your truck that is supposed to come in. So it's when I said it's St. Patrick's Day, it is like midnight the day before. So like the last truck was supposed to get here soon, and we as the audience know that it's not. That it just crashed. But Beltane, what are you going to do for the next truck coming in?
Probably send out a couple people to track it, see if it needs an escort, car in distress sort of thing, making sure that there are scouts keeping an eye on it, like making sure that any rivals aren't going to jump us. He had thought he had made an agreement with them on days like this, so he's re-looking over some contracts he has, making sure that they weren't violated in some way.
All right. So so you know that Biggie Bad Wolf does all your trucking for you. Do you get a hold of Biggie at all?
Yeah, I'll call him up on the phone.
Okay. Phone. All right. Here at midnight?
Yeah, we'll be at the, let's see, we'll probably be at the club, so I'll call from the club phone. And I mean, he knew what he was dealing with when he was dealing with us.
You walk into Lilith's office at the club, and you pick up the phone, and we hear the jazz and all playing in the background. The beats and the music is muffled, but as you open the door to the office, we're in the office, and the noise of the jazz comes pouring in, and we close the door and it's muffled. You pick up the phone and you dial up, and it rings and rings and rings, and then finally someone picks up the phone and says, yeah, what?
Where are my shipments?
Who is this? And it's not Biggie on the line.
Very long pause. Where's your boss?
He's out and about. I mean, who's this?
Your employer.
Biggie's my
Give me the
employer.
phone.
I hand over the phone to Lilith.
Yeah. And they were saying, and Biggie's my employer, as the phone crosses over to you, Lilith.
You tell your employer to meet me at my club as soon as possible, or he will know. Well, let's just say he will regret it.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, Miss Lilith. I'll try to get a hold. He's out running with the pack, but okay. Well, I'll do what I can. Thanks. Bye. And then he
1 second.
Okay, just as he was about to. Yeah.
What's your name, dear?
Oh,
Don't lie.
I'm Paul. He's just like, he's not lying, but it's just weird that you would ask.
Yeah.
And
I lean
so-
over to listen to it. May I have your name? As I hold up a piece of paper. Your full name.
Paul Johnson.
Thank you, Paul Johnson.
Perfect. Thank you.
Write down the name and stick it in a book and claim it.
All right. Yeah, so let's as you put the phone down. Keys, are you the one playing at the club right now?
I think, does he know yet that this is Lilith's club?
I think so, but you seem to have had a gig with you and Harker playing here. And yeah, I think you do, because you were surprised at all the monsters, like the first
That's
time.
fair. Yeah, I'd say if anything, he's playing there because he knows that Lilith does not want him playing there. And in his mind, he's like, what's she gonna do? Kill me? Good luck.
There are fates worse than death. Okay. All right. And Rue, would you be playing at midnight at a club?
Depends. Is it a school night?
Ooh,
What
that's a
year is it?
good one. Please, somebody get in a Google, and it's 1922, I think. If prohibition is still.
1922, day before St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
16th?
It's definitely look this up. 17th is St. Pat. Oh, it'd be the 16th. Yeah.
That was on a Friday.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah, I
That
am
is
playing.
lovely.
Of course I am.
All right. Okay, and if I remember correctly, you play the bass. Bass. All right. So, you guys are playing at the club. We move in from the slam of the office to the keys of the piano. Oh, you're on accordion currently?
It's gotta be festive. I can't use a piano when it's St. Patty's Day.
All right, I understand. Well, it's just now the St. Patty's Eve, technically.
Yeah, this is the first song as the clock strikes midnight. Like,
perfect.
everyone is going to know that it is
Now,
St. Patrick's Day in a monster bar, I guess. Like, if there are any, like...
and so of course, yay, the cheers go up, and a couple of actual Irish descendants, Fae and whatnot, they look as you start up a jazz version of some Irish tune. Like, what? And they kind of shake their heads and go back to their beers. Earlier today, for whatever reason, I had it in my head that RJ was going to be here, so I've got a couple of segues in mind that are not going to work. And so we see Keys on the accordion going along. Is there any visualization that we as the audience can see that tells us of your real, a sneak peek into your real being, into what you actually are?
Into...
Like,
so,
like the bandages on your hand?
Yeah,
or
I would say that, like, it's like if he knows he's in a monster bar and it's for something as special of this, he's gonna I would say that while he's playing, because it's on an accordion, which is to the side rather than secluded on the piano, that the bandages just start coming off, and it's just bony, like literal bone fingers playing on one side and then human hand on the other.
Okay. And Rue, you're still oblivious to the veil, right? The veil is fully drawn for you currently.
She is indeed quite obliviated.
All
I'd
right.
say.
And it's still all due to amulet and booze combo. Is that the key?
That's the magical combination. Yes.
All right. And Rue is your drink of choice this evening, or always? You're not a rummy, right? I can't
Whiskey?
remember.
Whiskey is usually her drink of choice, I'd say.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Unless there's something special on account of St. Patrick's Day.
I think as you're thumping along on the bass, that's sort of the view we get. We move up on keys, jaunty, playing, and the bandages kind of slip off, and we see that it's actual bones. And then we swing over, and as you're thumping the bass, we see a whiskey tumbler, and it's bouncing just a little bit, and the whiskey's sloshing. I think as we look out on the audience of people, we notice that it's not as raucous, because this is Friday night. It's not as raucous as it should be, you'd think, and partially because you're having a hard time getting your booze. The word is out that the trucks have kind of slowed. And so, Lilith, have you driven all competition out of town?
With booze?
Yeah.
No. There's small competition that I allow to be there.
All right. So there's no it's kind of like a Black Donnelly's situation where you're not the only bar, but you're the only bar.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. The other places are places that you have not crushed yet or bought out or anything like that.
I have some sort of hold over, basically.
Okay. Now, have you been funneling the booze that's coming into town into your for yourself or for your club, and hence those other places are really out of booze?
I distribute most of it into my club because it is the largest source.
Okay.
And then give smaller shipments to the other places. So
Okay.
if we're harsh on booze, and they are even more.
They're hurting.
They're
Okay.
hurting.
All right. Okay. As the song winds down, I guess we'll like fade wipe, and we see a couple of your orc boys in a 1920s roadster kind of vehicle. I guess it wouldn't be a roadster. It'd be like a four-door, like a sedan kind of thing. Pull up, and they see the truck smashed into the trees. And the boys get out, and they go walking up to it. And there's one of Biggie's werewolves is there, and he's like holding his head, and looks like he's got the stars knocked out of him, and then he looks like he's got birds and stars swirling around his head, and we see the orc boys kind of make a face, and then we cut back, and it's obviously later. Rue, I mean, it's a speakeasy, so the place doesn't close, but it's late. When would you be done for the night? Because you're not undead, you're a people.
That's
and
true.
So
Rue do gotta get some sleep sometime. I'm gonna say like 2-ish. Once you start getting into the 3 or 4 range, it's now tomorrow.
Yeah.
So like 2 is late enough to say it's still tonight. I'm gonna go to bed.
All right. And do you, since you've been veiled, do you walk the streets of Cloveraft, Port Cloveraft by yourself, or do you wait and drag keys home with you? Since you're still crashing at his place, right?
Yeah. Okay. That's right. She's not gonna force him to come home if he doesn't want to, but she'll basically be all like, all right, the saying, Rue's done it too, let's do this.
I've never heard that saying before in my entire life. But
you've heard it now.
Look, I'm sure you could get home fine, but this isn't exactly the right crowd for St. Patty's Day. He was a priest, man. So like having, like a Catholic priest around a bunch of people who might not be as encouraging of his message is probably not the best for booze. So let's just get out of here.
Okay.
Kane, before you go,
Oh shit, you're here.
I literally work the bar.
I thought the bartender looked familiar.
Yeah, all right. He pulls out two things, a rather somewhat medium-sized box, and sets it down. I got this commissioned for you. It's very true to the craft, I think. And got this from a Dwarvish friend in the Netherlands. He heard about your plight and thought this would help you.
What's the catch? With you, there's always a catch.
You're working for me and I pay you.
All right, I'll buy it.
Give him a little gold dust file. It's pure gold, so should help as a healing. It's an emergency healing thing. Don't use it right away, please.
Oh. Yeah, well, thank you.
Yeah.
It's right kind.
Yes. We
I
made
don't
sure. I
trust
mean,
it.
the dwarves are very good at their gold.
Are they now?
Don't give him any
don't-
ideas, please.
Don't rob the dwarves. They will hunt you
I
down.
wouldn't
and
rob them, but if they just have it lying around.
Don't.
Don't.
Does Kane even know where the Netherlands are?
No, not at
Okay,
all.
alright.
Somewhere in Appalachia.
Uh-huh.
It's just the
exactly.
mountains.
West.
Yeah,
They're west.
They're dwarves. Beltane opens the box and shows you what's inside. It's a handcrafted accordion. He found a crafter and made you one.
Wow. Now I feel like I should have gotten you something, but I didn't, so thanks.
Yeah, it's part of the gifts of spring. I mean, you're part of this world, so
Unfortunately.
might as well welcome you into it.
Lilith, were you actually standing there? And said
Oh,
this?
yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Rue, you're like looking, and you're obviously
Checking her
standing.
watch,
Yeah.
sipping her flask, emptying her flask, holding
Does
her
Rue-
flask upside down.
Does Rue know? Does she remember Lilith and Beltane, or just she just see them as club owners?
Essentially, yeah. She understands that they're her old friends, and she also understands that what they do is not necessarily legal, but like, she doesn't do legal things either, so like you guys are basically her providers, so she
Yeah.
like she tries to keep a steady relationship.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
How did
hey
you...
Belle, I could use a top off.
Oh, whiskey, bourbon.
But house choice.
Was it
All
a
right.
full-sized accordion or a mini accordion?
It's a full-size accordion.
Holy
Very neat.
shit.
Made of
Oh shit.
made of goat skin. Made of way they used to
Awesome.
make them.
Okay.
Right. Well, from the Netherlands, probably whalebone and
Yeah.
and
Whalebone.
walnut.
I was
It's-
I was playing a mini one earlier. That's why I was just like, well, now I'm a bard.
Uh,
Gonna regret
Lilith
that.
is,
Rue some
Lilith
bourbon.
is gonna before Rue leaves, she's gonna just without saying much, just hand Rue a small box. It's like a flat box.
What's this?
It's an extra payment. I saw you were running low on your makeup, so
She's gonna drop it down on the table, and because like she's holding her base in her other hand,
yeah.
kind of swinging it around haphazardly. She's gonna drop it down on the table, kind of flip it open.
It's a very nice tube of red lipstick, like the exact shade that Rue usually wears, but a much nicer version of it, as well as a really nice compact mirror that's
Ooh.
carved. And it's not gold.
That's some top shelf.
She's actually gonna purse those perfectly painted
Yeah.
lips into a nice like ooh like oh.
Yeah. I know the importance of keeping one looking well.
Gonna tuck it into her shirt pocket and say, "Much obliged."
And Rude, what how are you dressed?
She is wearing. I'm gonna say that she cuts a little bit loose when she's playing at the pub. Like her tie is undone, but she's got a nice dress shirt and some suspenders, and she's like flipped her coat jacket over her shoulder. And mostly masculinely dressed, but like with the tight curls kind of like pulled down a 1920s helmet around her face, and the immaculate lipstick, of course.
And we've established Rue has blonde hair or dark hair.
It's blonde hair.
Okay. There were times where I got Hazel and Rue, and I thought they were opposites, but they weren't. They actually did look like sisters. Okay. Okay.
I think Hazel was a brunette, right?
Yeah, she had auburn hair.
She was. Okay.
Yeah.
So all right, I did have it one way or the other.
It's
okay.
all right. The one with dark hair is not here anymore.
Yeah.
She's no longer with us.
And how does Rue believe her sister died?
Didn't you say, Stephen, that she doesn't believe that her sister died? She believes that her sister's now in a loony bin upstate.
She's either loony bin upstate, or it's like she just moved to Colorado or some place where like you're never gonna talk to her again. Obviously,
right. It was a traumatic parting, is what she remembers.
Okay. All right. So it was something split you guys up. All right. And as we follow the two of you out of the speakeasy, what's that conversation like between Rue and Kane?
Kane was ready to help carry this base however long they needed to, like, I don't know if we're like walking all the way there or if we're getting a cab.
Beltane would have given you guys a car to take back.
I don't know
He's
how
not
to
a
drive this
dick.
thing.
Well, like,
And a driver too.
With a driver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, someone's driving
Yes.
them home.
Yeah.
That is because otherwise Kane was going to be helping like carry the base at times. Like, it's like when you see somebody that you're walking with and they have their arms full of groceries and you have less, you're like, just give some to me.
Well, now you have a big old.
Now I have this fucking accordion.
Yeah. So when you walk out back to get in the car, the Kane, you have sight. You have the sight, right?
In limited quantities, yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, then I guess we'll say again as we move the midnight hour clicked, and as the veil thinned and whatnot, you can see this is one of Lilith's orc boys who's there to drive you guys, and he opens the door and he looks at Rue and is like, Miss Harker, may I take your instrument?
It's a bass.
Bass, the bass. Yes.
Yeah.
May I?
Careful with the goods, Paul.
And he goes to he thinks about the trunk, and even on this 1920s car, there's no way this thing's sitting in the trunk. So he ends up putting it in the front seat next to him.
Seatbelt on.
Yeah, and
there are no seatbelts.
There are no seatbelts.
Oh yeah, that's right. Fuck.
Oh shit.
He's probably sipping some booze, being like, "I'll drive you wherever you need to go."
My first car, GB's in real life, had no seatbelts. It was that we didn't have seatbelt laws until until I was in high school. I was actually the first class in Michigan history to have seatbelt law. Have to learn to buckle your seatbelt. Before then, it was an option at driver's training. Anyway, later. So he puts the bass in, and you climb in with an accordion. And
I've kept it like in its box, like
okay.
yeah, just to
Alright.
transport it. Once it gets home, I'll
Okay.
put it up somewhere nice.
Would it have a case?
Well, not necessarily like a traveling case, but Beltane had presented it to me in a
Ah,
box.
Okay.
Like I
Okay.
would have
So
just
you have
kept
it in
in
the
the box, yeah.
you have it in the gift box. Okay. Yeah.
So I probably have like straps and snaps and things.
Yeah, but some kind of buckly clamp. Okay, so you guys are getting in the vehicle, and you see you see another one of Lilith's boys' car pull up, and a smashed up truck. The radiator hissing, and it rambles and rumbles in behind and Beltane and Lilith probably too. You both could hear the truck coming from the offices, because you guys are like in the back of the club where these guys are exiting, maybe even Beltane at least saying goodbye. And you see the boys you went to find the truck pulling up with the truck.
What in set stream is that? He like points it out to Rue.
It's like in the middle of checking out her new compact, and she like snaps it shut and looks.
Rue, you see a you're good and lit, right?
Lit?
Yeah.
No, she just finished her
Right.
flask off. So.
Okay. Yeah. So you bleary-eyed, you see a bunch of Lilith's thugs and one of her trucks. It's Wolf Shipping, and it's got like a stylized 20s pinup wolf head on the door to the vehicle. But it's hissing and steaming, and you're like, that's probably not right.
Let me guess, it's empty.
And one of the boys is Miss Lilith, it's empty. They got us again, but the driver saw it coming this time, and then he realizes that there's civilians there, and he's like, oh, sorry, boss.
That's fine.
Just bring the driver in.
And you're at the back, so you see in the truck they help this guy out, and he's in human form, so even those of you with the sight, you can kind of tell something's off, but he looks like a human. But he's a
hairy man.
Yeah, you would know that he's actually one of Biggie Bad's werewolves, and he staggers. He's obviously got a concussion and whatnot. And your other guy who was driving them home is still standing there with the door open, like, should I go? He doesn't say anything. He's just looking like, is this something? It basically looks at Beltane like, do I need to be here? Should I could get them out of here?
We're just sitting in the back of this car.
Exactly.
I'll go up to the car, open the back door, and lean in. You two can sleep in the back room tonight.
Is there a problem?
If I say no, that would be lying.
That'd also be incredibly suspicious.
Yes.
Parker's gonna light up a cigarette. I used to be a detective. If there's anything that I can do to help.
Oh, really?
Yeah, believe it or not.
If you want to look through the car, that would be great, Professor.
I'm gonna get out her hat and plop it on her head. Get out, put on her jacket, and she's going to give it the old
Investigation. Kane's just going to be
I-
moving the instruments into the back room, being like, I don't know where this place even is.
One of the boys will show you probably.
I'm gonna
Alright.
look for clues.
And the one who had the car for them, he looks at Lilith and then looks over at Beltane like, am I sticking around? Should I get some more boys and come back? I mean, that don't look good.
Get some more boys, Paul.
Gotcha. And he takes off. And as the tail lights go away, Rue, give me a brains roll, would you?
Yeah. I don't know if I'm good at that. But I guess we'll find out. No, I'm not terrible. Still not enough. 6.
Oh, okay. All right. So as you're looking at the vehicle, you know, it obviously, the things you can tell is, yep, hit a tree. To the driver's window is broken out, and if Kane, if you would give me a luck roll, please.
I'm pretty good at these.
She's like mentally filling out an accident report. I think that whatever is here to find, she has been obscured from it.
Yep.
And a luck roll, so I don't add anything to this?
Nope.
All right. That's a 10.
Oh, awesome. You're like, and you walk up like behind Rue, and we see Rue like maybe holding on the steering wheel and like looking around, and you know, the broken driver window and whatnot, and then we
comes off in her hand.
we see Kane like kind of loom up from behind her, and then he's like, and he's sniffing down by your butt now, Rue.
It's nothing personal, I swear.
I'm just like, yeah, get away.
All right,
There's some key snacks
Kane?
around here.
You indeed see the glint of gold
Huh?
under the seat.
All right, hold up. Move aside, move aside, move aside.
Ah!
This is my crime scene now.
I get shoved over into the passenger seat.
All
What
right.
do you see, Kane?
Yeah.
Can't get your normal hand in there. There's these big massive springs for the seat, and you can't, you know, your fleshy paw is like, unless you rip the flesh off of it, you're not going to get in past these springs.
So I know that Rue has actively chosen not to see beyond the veil.
Yep.
In which case, he's gonna ask if like, or like he'll reach his hand like under the seat, and then just like detach his hand under the seat and have it like go and get the coin that way.
So,
And it'll
so you
just
got
look
an
like
empty...
he's like fishing around down
Okay.
there.
All right, and sure enough, your clawed paw all by itself crawls in underneath and is like, ooh, it's gold, all right.
Did he
Come
absorb
to
gold
Papa.
through his detached hand?
That I don't remember.
So it is if he touches it, but I feel like he has to have like that. It's basically like it could be an accidental dissolve kind of thing, like, and he just can't really help himself around it. But he also like has stolen gold busts before and
Right.
held on to it. So I think
Yeah.
if anything, like he has to touch it with his bare hand, but if it's like
Sounds good.
bandages around the skeleton hand, he can pluck stuff no problem. It's his Michael
Okay.
Jackson glove.
Yeah, and
Oh,
it's
we got a follow-up.
again, it's your reverse Midas touch.
Moldy
what,
Mashaka
huh?
99, thank you. Thank you for the follow. Guess what happens when we get new followers on the channel? GB's
It is
here.
rough in Monster Noire because it's hard to see, but for the follow, if I'm on the show, I take this maul and I hit that guy in the face.
Yes.
That's for you. Thank you. We love it. Appreciate it. So yeah, Rue, you just got shoved out of the way, and you see Kane like scrambling underneath the seat there. Kane, what do you do with
I'm
this?
trying to grab that there gold piece.
You snatch it up in your skeletal paw, and we see the little skeleton hand all by itself wing the coin one way and back across his fingers.
And I just, like pull the coin out. And it's one of those like a fine cigar. He just like takes a nice whiff of it and just,
And
Oh,
as
Parker's
happy
just like
day.
shaking his head at him. It's like, Keys, this is a crime scene.
and
Done searching the cushions for spare change.
and
and
as
then he
you
starts
pull it
playing
up,
with it.
as you pull it up, Rue, you see it's like some kind of $50 gold piece, something or other. Kane, you see it, it's a big fatty coin, like some kind of doubloon or whatever. But you look at it and it's got weird drawings and stuff on it. You've never seen a coin like this.
I want to take a bite out of it just to see if it is real gold, but I don't want to actually eat it just yet.
Kane,
so you give it a little kissy taste,
Yeah.
like biting a gold coin, but like
Yeah,
just
he's
a little.
well. No, again, like I don't want him to like come into physical contact with it, so it's more just
okay.
like you can see like he's salivating a little bit, looking at this $50 from Rue's perspective.
As he's looking at this coin, from off the side of the screen, a foot is gonna slide in against his face and just push him out of the car.
Okay.
I want to think that Lilith makes her way like behind him, but very quietly, and then just like right next to his ears, like, "What did you find?"
Well, all right. So, remember how last time, or a few times ago, there was a really awesome shiny gold thing, and I tried to acquire it, and I did, and then, well,
We met Krampus.
that one, yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
If
he
I
wrote us
found
letters. Do you want
something,
them?
if I found something that is also as deliciously smelling as that, but I acquired it for free this time, would you still be mad at me?
Well, did you find it in the wreck?
Yes,
My truck, my crime scene, my coin.
but I work for you, so can I keep it?
Let me see it.
He'll like a kid who knows he's taken something he wasn't supposed to. Just
She'll snatch it real quick out of his hand and just kind of look it over.
You don't know what the symbols and stuff are. One side looks like someone's head. The
Beltane.
other seems to have scriggles on it.
I'm pulling out letters Krampus wrote us all. He's very thankful for all of our help. He's made us a tea packet too, if you like tea.
That's lovely, dear.
maybe for like a
This
hot
seems.
Maybe he likes hot toddies? I should ask.
toddy. I like hot toddies.
I'll make you one.
We do
This
like a little tea in our
seems-
whiskey.
Back to the wreckage, everyone. We'll make you teas and hot toddies later.
Beltane, do you take the coin?
Yeah, I'll reach over and
This-
take the coin, look it over.
This seems
Oh.
to be of your area of expertise.
What I always forget, what season is Beltane of?
Spring.
Oh, you touch this coin and it's so from Beltane perspective, you touch the coin and the second you touch it, everything like fades and around you into like colors of spring. Everything before that in camera shot, except for like lipstick, gold hair, anything that's supposed to be a color, everything else is like gray and muted. but the second you take this coin, everything is Wizard of Oz. Yellow brick road, ruby slippers. Everything is way colored, and you're like, yeah, this is of the spring court. So this is old country. This is ancient fae. Something's going on here. No werewolf had this in their pocket.
No. Just stand there for a moment, look around, surprise over my face as I look to Lilith. Huh.
Mhm.
Yeah, Kane, you can't have this, unfortunately. I'll make it up to you, I promise.
And as you're talking to Kane, the camera swoops out and we see the alleyway, and it's literally a globe around this coin is in Technicolor, where everything else is still kind of that noir muted look. So Beltane, what do you do with the coin?
Just turn it over to see who's on the front, see the face of the coin.
You give me a brains roll on this one.
All right. Oh boy, pals. Oh, good, pals. I can do math. 12.
Ah, excellent. The picture is of King Lou. You know that he's an Irish Fae king. One of the original peoples, gods, as it were, of Ireland. And yeah, it's a coin of his minting.
Just smile. This is an old friend of mine, actually. He's an Irish king, actually, Irish king of Fae. He was actually part of the Wee Folk when the Wee Folk actually took over Ireland and the invasion was great. Anyways,
Beltane?
yes, I know. Werewolves shouldn't have this coin. In fact, no one outside of my people should have this coin.
Well, if it's not the werewolves, it's the attackers. And Beltane, why are your people attacking my trucks? And she kind of like bops his nose with every word.
Oh, the Irish Fae aren't British Fae. They are a different set of people, so they're not technically my people in the sense they belong within the British land
So,
strip.
during this conversation, Rue, you're hearing them talk about the minting of this coin was from the blah blah this and that. It's like they're literally it sounds like to your veiled ears that they are talking about coin collecting, and you're
I
like,
see.
do you go to the back of the truck or search anything else, or what is your what's Rue's move during this boring conversation?
Sure. She'll head back to the truck and see if there's anything that she missed.
Okay. Give me another brains roll.
Even worse.
Okay.
You can reroll.
Well, mark those experience, I guess.
Oh shoot! I should be rolling
yeah.
or marking those. Ah!
So, all right, you're looking. You're just like this truck's beat up. This truck has had a rough life, and that's all you're noticing is all the scrapings and whatnot in the back. It looks like any old truck to you. There doesn't seem to be anything. Kane, you're salivating over the coin, I assume, during their conversation?
I was, and then they took it away from me.
And so are you listening intently, or are you
No,
just like...
I'm going back to look for more. I want to find out if there's more where these coins came from.
All right, so you follow Rue to the back, and you hoist yourself up into the back of the truck. Go ahead and... yeah, let's go with brains. Give me a brains roll.
Oh God. Well, let's see it. Show me potato salad. That's an 11.
You got potato
Ooh,
salad.
Much better than Thomason was last eve.
Yeah, exactly. So you're looking around in the back, and you see where the crates slide on the boards in the back, and you find a bit of iron. It's like a wrought iron. It's so it's got a loop on one end, and then it's twisted iron, and it's got a loop on the other end. And
Is this like a
that's what you find.
slinky?
You don't know. It's twisted, not a spring.
Oh.
So it's
Ah.
not actually loops. It's like
just
someone took a
twisted.
square bar, heated it, and then twisted it like a towel. Like a towel would be twisted.
Hunk of
But you
junk?
see,
I'll toss it
Yeah.
over my shoulder.
all right, cling, clang, 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 clang.
Yep.
Rue's invisible. What?
Yeah.
It's her new
Okay.
superpower.
We'll get back. We'll get back to Rue in a sec.
Oh, there she is.
Oh, okay. All right. Rue, you were invisible. I was telling the story, and I said, "And Rue, you see," and then I looked down, and you weren't there.
She was gone.
He was gone, invisible. The veil has taken her.
Sorry.
The wee folk got her. So you see Kane, who reaches down in the floorboards, and he pulls up this piece of it's a piece of curved iron, and it's got a loop. It's got like an eyelet on both ends, and it's wrought. It seems to be some kind of wrought iron, and it's twisted metal. So it's like someone took an iron bar and twisted it like a towel. So
Huh.
it's got curves and swirls to it, but it's bent, and it's got eyelets on both ends. And Kane like looks at it, doesn't smell like gold, and he's like, hunk of
Okay.
junk. And he clang, and Lilith and Beltane, you do hear a very a clang, a definite clang from the back of the vehicle.
I think this is a strange and mystical moment for Rue, as the veil is kind of working overtime to like not remind her what this would be for, and she's just kind of like staring it down, like really confused, and like the gears are running, but like, and like it's like it's on the fritz, just like sparks popping out of her ears. Just like, huh.
Did you find something else?
Yeah, just
She'll
a
go
bunch
pick
of junk.
She'll go pick it up and like basically almost hand it to Belle.
Oh no
Lilith will take it.
no.
Lilith is gonna take it.
Don't
Uh,
give me iron. I'm allergic, quite deadly allergic to iron.
Yes, no iron for him. Thank you very much.
I think I've heard of that. Have I? I might have heard of that.
Yep,
It's a very bad skin allergy, dear.
hives for days.
Would I know what this is?
Looks like some piece to a fireplace that got bent. Beltane, I'm going to say that you know that this is it's the handle for an iron cooking pot that would hang on a hook above a fireplace. So this is the loop that would attach to a pot that would be over a cooking fire.
It's a handle. It's for those old pots, the ones I wish I could have in the kitchen, but
So, let me see if I'm connecting this right. Cooking pot lid or handle. Gold coins with an Irish king. Day before St. Patrick's Day.
He's a very sexy Irish king.
Good
Mhm.
to know.
He
Am I
wanted to
dealing
marry
with
my
fucking
sister.
leprechauns here?
Oh, don't call him that.
What should I call them?
You should call them the noble folk.
Am I dealing with fucking noble folk here that are stealing my booze?
Probably.
Why?
Beltane, give me a brains roll.
Cool, even better. 13.
There's a type of Irish fae known as I'm going to say it wrong. It's not Currigan as in Highlander. It's Clurigan, like CL. Clurigan, who are a fae that does indeed guard booze. They don't drink it. They just keep people from it.
Yep.
Prohibition fairies.
God damn it.
I'd say, they
Real
only
happy
guard
1920s.
booze for the saints and gods. They'll give it back in a few days' time when they go back to sleep.
All right, but I have people coming over because it's a holiday, and I don't have booze for more than tonight.
Well,
Yes.
Might need to take a hit here.
Or we can find them and I can take my fucking booze back. The one that I paid for with my money means that it's mine.
Sure. Let's piss off some noble folk.
Well, they've pissed me off. So it's even.
That's not how Fae work. You know this. You've been with me for 90 years at this point.
So what Rue just heard is, some mobsters, Irish mobsters, have been taking and hitting Lilith's trucks, and Lilith just is like, I'm gonna get it and kill these fucking mobsters. So Rue, you are hearing the mob talk back and forth of like, oh my god, there's gonna be a hit. I'm hearing about a hit. How does Rue feel about hearing about gang war?
I think that she like plays a game of word association in her head, where she's all like, oh, like, yeah, that's right, she's from the mob. Mobs do hits. And Harry was killed by the mob. No, wait, Harry was killed by a dog. What was that again? She's just like having a hard time with that.
Yep. That's amazing. So it's that imagery of in Rue's head and Harry, like a mobster's there, and then there's like a dog bite, and it's back and forth like, what? So yeah, your head's spinning. You're pretty drunk at this time, and the veil is like, we from the outside can see the veil is like, it's like leaping at her. Her amulet is like to Beltane, at least the amulet is like wah, wah, working overtime.
I'll reach over and kind of shake Harker. Hey.
Oh, hey, Belle. How's it hanging?
We're gonna go meet some friend of ours. I think you'll like them.
Oh, okay.
Are you sure you want to bring her?
They like people who drink.
She wants to forget.
That amulet's not gonna last much longer if she keeps thinking.
Well, okay, hold up. You could just not tell her. She seems really happy this way.
And Rue, you're hearing like, why would we take the detective to the mob, to this mob thing?
I don't think she should stay here, Kane, with the werewolf in our bar.
That's very true.
Isn't that what you guys told us to spend the night here? We were gonna go home.
Plans changed, my dear boy.
And
listen,
Rue, you don't know why there's a big dog here in the speakeasy.
She doesn't see him as a person. She sees him as a dog.
Yeah, they pulled the dog out of the truck. They pulled the dog out of the truck.
Okay, that makes her very uncomfortable. She doesn't like dogs.
Don't worry, dear. The dog will be
that breed of dog. That's the breed that got Harry.
And it was limping as it was in whining as it was being taken into the speakeasy.
Well, maybe they'll go put it down.
Here's Frankie.
Listen, we're not. I'm not going to upset these noble folk as they have upset me. I know how to deal with Fae. I've dealt with you. And she points to Beltane.
Hmm.
I just want to speak with them because they have taken something that is not theirs to take.
Negotiate.
I know, that's what I'm going to do. So we're good at. But
Take the handle.
I'll take it with me. Yes, don't touch it.
Beltane, you got a 13 on that brains roll, right? You know that the reason that these Fae are special, they can wield iron. And they make iron pots to keep their gold in because the other Fae can't get at their gold in the iron pots. So that's why they are special in that way. And that also makes them hellacious guards for the Tohedadanan, I think, is the Irish Fae court. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Tohedadanan is the court that was the first Fae court among the British Isles.
Yeah. So yeah, you know that's why they are such good guardians for the Fae. Okay, so where are you going though? I mean, you don't know where these guys are.
Give the coin back to Lilith. Could just call them.
We could. I'm just saying that things seem to be in my favor. They're a court. I'm a court. They stole from me and hurt people that were working under me.
This is true.
Very true. We could call them then.
Oh no, they didn't ask my permission.
Also,
or what?
they're a long way from home, Belle.
Yeah, they didn't ask permission and they're not in the right place.
They're most definitely not in the right place.
Hear me out, Kane. I'm sure you'll agree with me.
Kane's like distanced himself at this point.
Where'd you go? We can make them an offer to guard our borders, as they are very ferocious people.
Yes, but will they give me my booze back?
If you negotiate right,
And what do we have to offer them?
you've got their handle. That's very precious.
A handle.
It's very precious to them.
I could also say that they will not suffer any consequences should they be in the service.
That sounds good. We give them a cut of the bourbon.
That's fair.
That seems like a good negotiation.
One of the orc boys, as again we're in the speakeasy and we see a guy coming down the stairs, with a 20s haircut and like a tweed kind of suit, and he steps out, and as he turns we spin around the front of him and we see through the veil that he's this orc guy with the tusk, and he steps forward and he's like, boss, he's the werewolf's coming too, and Rue, you hear the dogs coming too, the dogs waking up.
Why exactly do we need to bring a dog with us?
Well, we don't. We just want to make sure the dog's okay because it belongs to a dear friend of mine. They'll be out of the club in a little bit. They're coming to pick him up.
She's just going to kind of squint at Lilith. a little bit suspicious. She
So
doesn't know what to trust right now.
Is there something wrong with that, dear? I'm sorry that I know you don't like dogs, but it'll be out of your hair in a second.
Just keep that thing away from me.
I promise I will. I wouldn't want to make you upset.
and this is the age of no cell phones, no GPS, nothing like that. So Biggie has no idea that one of his trucks has been hit even. As far as he knows, the truck is at the club dropping off booze.
Right, we did call him to come over.
Right. But yeah. The moon is not full. It'll be full tomorrow night, which again we could Google and look up. I love technology, but we're not going to because for story purposes, it's almost full. Which will be a double whammy on the veil tomorrow night. So something's nope. You gonna talk to this guy, or are you going to go try to find Biggie, or are you gonna what will you do? What's your next step?
Well,
Kane?
So when Kane took his aside from Beltane and Lilith, he knows that the two of them just go. Like, they will keep talking to each other about plans, so he just sort of, like, quietly stepped off, and he was going to go over to Rue and actually ask, are you doing okay? I'm fine right now. I know that you would want to turn in earlier or something, but it looks like Beltane and Lilith got plans tonight. You look like you got a little bit of a headache.
She's gonna kind of look into her flask and like cap it and be all like, I don't know, the booze isn't sitting well tonight.
Well, I mean, that's what booze is supposed to do. It's not exactly supposed to sit easy.
You know they never caught him?
Caught who?
The dog that got Harry. It's still out there somewhere.
And Rue, you think for a moment, no, I killed that dog. You think for some reason you think you had to put that dog down. That rabies, that dog had rabies, maybe.
Yeah, and then she just kind of like squints for a second, and she's like, "Didn't I?" She just kind of like looks confused.
You put it down. It wasn't exactly an easy choice. I mean, apparently it was.
Why do I feel like it's still out there, though?
Rue, there's some things that are going on right now that I think you really need to pay attention to. And I know this is me saying it, and I don't pay attention to fucking anything, but that's why I need your set of sharp eyes. I just got a good nose.
You got a good nose for gold is what you got. In trouble.
Pinching pennies. That's what I'm trying to do. We can't live in that ramshackle hat forever. I mean, we could. It's nice not having neighbors, but in the meantime,
Squirrel problems.
there are so many squirrel problems at that house, Rue.
There wasn't a flying cat. I mean, a normal, average, everyday cat that lived there.
I think as Kane starts to discuss, like, you know, clear vision and stuff, she's gonna like unconsciously reach up to grab her amulet, but then she goes, ah! And it's like it's hot from all of the like overtime it's been doing.
It's awesome. Yeah. So you know, you go to get rid of it in the will of Sauron. So the magic of the amulet protects itself to stay put. Beltane, you are definitely aware that the amulet is working overtime because you created it, right? You didn't paw that off on someone. This is a Beltane original.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can feel the magic is stretched, and you know that because of the veil thinning for the time of of year and moon phase, it's also quite a thing. Two, I think you would know that waving this gold coin around is like literally holding up a beacon in the night. So like, you know that other Fae are gonna spot this. And
Yeah,
probably,
he's already pushing away pixies. Like,
yeah,
that's come at him.
I was gonna say, yeah, some of the minor Faes are leaping from the darkness like mine. You know, ah, 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 tugging at it. Kane, fireflies are trying to fly off with your gold coin. I mean, you're not holding it, but you see like bugs and stuff
He
getting.
just has like a hand extended out. Just,
No. Building. She kind of looks over to Rue and Kane as they're talking. I don't think it's best to bring her. She's already having a hard time, and if she wants to forget, then she wants to forget. But I say, either make her remember, or just separate her completely from this.
I can't make her remember. I can't touch that amulet.
Hey, Rue.
It has hazel on it. The tree.
I know, but I don't think it's best for her to come along.
All right, look. I can fix this.
Who are you talking to?
Oh, I was gonna say, I thought that Lilith had, like, pulled aside. Sorry, I thought that Kane was a part of that conversation. If not,
Yeah,
are
yeah. You
Oh,
are
okay.
now.
You are now.
because I didn't know if it was while he was talking to Rook, so I don't want to, like, separate him from that scene.
It could be after.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, if we're still, like, establishing what
Yeah.
we're doing, Kane has a very easy way of getting, of overclocking the amulet, as it were.
Please elaborate, Kane. I would love to see your
He
interaction. with
detaches
Fey
his
magic.
hand, puts it back on.
That's still very disturbing, no matter how many times I see it.
If she pulls my hand off, how is it going to try and explain that?
Rude. Did you just see him dislocate his elbow or something?
Did he do it in full view, or was he just
Or did
doing
he
No,
that?
he
set-
did
I
it
think his
like
back would have
he-
been like
yeah, I-
to her.
Okay.
Ah,
True, but we. It's not a decision she's able to make at the moment, but it's a decision she made when she wore that amulet that she wanted to forget.
And just to tell anybody who's new out there, the amulet is protecting Rue currently. She made the decision to not be able to see past the veil because she has the sight as a mortal. Because her sister died twice. Her sister was made into a vampire. There's all sorts of supernatural horrors that had the devil tried to get at her and stuff.
Go watch the VODs.
Yeah, so go watch the VODs. I say as we're coming real close to our break. So I think let's play out. You guys are saying that. What's the decision there?
Go over
Overclock
to
the
Harker.
amulet?
Look to Kane. And then gesture to him.
You know her best, so.
And Kane will go up to Rue. What was Rue doing? You looked like you had something that you wanted to say.
Yeah.
it's fine. I was gonna step out of character to talk about it, but it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. We can do this. She's just kind of sitting there, like, still contemplating.
Kane will go over, and he says, Rue, I'm gonna be upfront with you on this. That dog is still out there. but they go by different names. And there's only one way that I know this. And you told it to me. So I need you to do something for me that'll help you remember if you caught that dog or not, all right?
All right.
Pull my finger.
And we'll go to break.
All right, so I would like to say first and foremost, thank you, GB, for running this game. And thank you to Jen and Satan and Danae for joining us as we continue to do Monster Noir. We are going to try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes. So don't go no place unless it is to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or possibly go to indooradventure.redbubble.com, pick up some sweet ass merch. And we will see you guys shortly. All right, everybody. Bye-bye. There's the break. Hello, everybody, and welcome. We've returned from our break.
Our 8-year-old break. We're all 8 years old.
I don't know why that gets you
Satan
guys.
yelled ready spaghetti at me, and I can't. It's so good. So, yes, Kane has asked Rue to pull his finger on his bandaged hand.
Rue just kind of looks down and then up and then down again. Like,
He just full serious face.
what the hell?
Look,
Are you gonna joke at a time like this?
it's not really a joke.
I'm kind of going. God.
Where are you going?
Sorry, during the break we were just talking about. Oh God, Nights in the Courtyard.
Nights in the
I
Courtyard,
guess.
that
Nights in
one.
the courts.
Oh no. Okay. Ruhaka.
That is
I'm
your
kinda going-
name.
I'm kind of going through something. God, no, I literally can't. Okay.
You got this. I believe in you.
Look, shush, 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 shush. How about this? If you won't pull my finger, at least take my hand.
She's gonna look at you suspiciously, but like there's an instinct inside her that's telling her to do so, and that amulet's just getting hotter and hotter. She's gonna reach out and just kind of grab your hand, like
He does a dramatic fallback, but pops his hand off. So that way, like, the distance cannot be covered with just, like, an extended arm or extra skin or anything like that. Like, his hand comes off.
I think Lilith and Beltane are just looking at them very, like, intensely. Just
like-
kind of together, like...
I think any other day she would have been able to justify this with like, you know, like a joke hand or like a prosthetic or something like that. But like it has been so close for so long. I think that amulet just like bursts into flame. So
He's,
like
like, He's
her
still
eyes
squeezing.
are just like wide looking down at that. Like she tries to drop it and it's still holding on to her.
Yeah.
So now she's got a hand holding onto her hand and her amulet's on fire. So
Oh.
I'll
And-
reach out and take the flame off of the amulet and claim it back as my own.
And as the camera like swirls all around this, Rue, we're seeing it kind of from Rue's point of view, and she's kind of like vampire, faithing, skeleton, you know. And then Beltane reaches in, and his skin's normally blue, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's a
he
bright
reaches
blue
in
boy.
with a blue and wisps away the flame like this from the amulet. And what's Rue's reaction?
as that occurs, they're like she just kind of like looks around and then she gasps, her eyes go wide, and like behind her there is just like it's like going on fast forward from like the moment she was born, just like all the way back to the beginning, and boom, she remembers everything. And she's just like, oh shit.
Hi, dear.
Kane like pushes himself back up. His hand drops from holding onto yours.
And crawls away.
Yeah, it crawls back towards him, and you just see him like put his hand back on.
How are you feeling?
She kind of like looks up at you for a second, and then like her eyes widen again, and she like is like patting herself for her gun. She's like, "There's a fucking werewolf here."
Oh, good, you're back. Welcome
Yeah.
back, detective.
Yes, there is, but it's not the same as the other one.
She's gonna like try and shove past Beltane.
Oh, no.
Nope.
As I spin her around. No. We're using them to find your werewolf.
They're not going to hurt you, or they weren't involved in what happened to Harry.
Oh, you don't need to worry about them hurting me.
Oh.
Very true. Rue.
You hear off in the distance.
All right, we can
Does
talk
this-
while we're going to wherever the hell
You
we
and
need to go.
it suddenly dawns on you. You have summoned the werewolves here. So there's a pack of werewolves on their way.
Rue, why don't you wait in not my office, but there's a back room with a bed. You could maybe sleep off a little bit of that headache that you seem to have going on right now. I think that might be best.
First we're going home, then we're going to the back room, then we're not going to the back room, now we're going to the back room again.
The back room is safe. The back room is safe.
Rue, give me a moxie roll.
Oh, now you start rolling well. 12.
Where is your fucking briefcase? Your satchel bag is not here. What the hell are you doing? Your brain is screaming at you.
All right.
And you realize too, you don't have silver bullets in your gun.
I don't think she even has her gun. She's like,
okay.
She's like really frustrated with herself right now. How the hell have I been living?
With
Cautiously.
me.
I don't have my gun. I don't have my briefcase.
Monsters everywhere.
There's monsters everywhere.
Rue, would you like a drink?
Lilith,
Yes.
if you are gonna make me remember, you are gonna help me find that fucking werewolf. Doesn't have to be tonight, I understand. But this is
Lilith is gonna take her hand. It's like one hand in both of hers. Rue, I will help you find whoever did this. I promise. Not because you threatened me, not as a favor, but because you deserve to know and you deserve to take your revenge, and I want to do this for you.
she's gonna grip your hand and just kind of shake it for a second because she can see that you're being sincere.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
Do it. I promise. I'll help you. Welcome back.
Where is my gun?
Oh, here. Built in, and she's one of his many and just gives her one.
Thank you.
Silver bullets, I'm sure.
Just gonna put that in her jacket. Just kind of pat it. Okay.
Now,
What are we doing now?
there are many werewolves coming over.
Not the ones that hurt your. These are ones we employed to help find the one that hurt yours.
Yes. And to drive my booze around. So It would benefit us all if you didn't kill them, because A, they'll help us find who did what they did to Harry, and B, because they bring in your booze.
Mostly the booze.
Mostly the booze.
A lot of conflicting emotions right now.
I can assure you that none of them did that.
I better not be here if they're going to be here.
Would you like to be in the back room, or do you want to go home? I just don't think right now we should all be separated, but that is up to you.
Back
I
room
can
it is.
take her through the sheet to the manor.
Back room. It is.
And
Beltane?
Rue, you still need your kit.
Yep, I do.
Okay. I just, I know that no good hunter would be without. So that's why when they're like, "Oh, you're gonna go here, you're gonna go there," it's like being a little kid and being like, "No, I'll drive you. You can't drive yourself." So, okay.
It's up to you, Rue. Where you want to go?
I really need my kit.
Do you know where you left it?
She's gonna look back at Kane. Is it back at the apartment?
Or is it at your old office?
It's either apartment, old office, or your new office at your occult school job.
I
Yeah.
have so many locations now.
Yeah. Or even maybe the manor. You could have left it there.
Even that. I feel like she would have left it at the old office. It's okay if she can't get to it right now. It's fine. Like it's an interesting challenge to try and figure out how to out of character narratively. It's interesting to work with this.
Okay.
Unless GB, it's important.
Yeah, I would. Again, let's step out for a moment. We're in the writers' room of the show. Like at one point, and the executive writer is like, "No, she's gotta go to the office." And then, of course, us in the writers' room from this scene, you were like, "Oh, what? Why?" And then we go back to the story. So,
Okay.
I mean, if she needs it, and it could be like Lilith and Beltane will probably have some sort of weapons or hunting gear here because of the world they live in.
Beltane can also phase through a tree and bring somebody with him.
That's very true.
And there would be a tree near the old office.
Do that. Makes it quick.
You've ever traveled through trees, dear?
and then if that too will give time to have the scene with the werewolves in the alley.
Right.
But Beltane won't be there, which heightens the whole tension in that
Kane
scene.
will.
I know, and that's what I'm saying. That the play of that is beautiful. So let's go ahead with
in the writing room. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great. It's great.
Who ate all the Skittles?
Sorry.
Why did you all eat the red ones?
I'm a slut for red Skittles. All right.
So we see Beltane and Rue walk out to the front of the speakeasy on the boulevard where there's these little tiny trees, and basically Beltane, you can describe the phasing, but it's going to be to another little baby sapling on the boulevard, like those concrete chunks they would leave squares out in the old days for trees to grow up on the sidewalks of places. That's what's going on here. So
it's not ideal, detective, as I hold out my hand to her.
Oh, don't insult my girlish figure. Grab.
I'll touch the tree and just walk through, and as we walk through, it's a tunnel of roots, bark, gold, treasure, pearls, necklaces. Basically a dragon's hoard. Within this very short trip, you get a glimpse of books, scrolls, everything you could want, knowledge, gold, wealth, what have you. And then suddenly you're on the other side of the tree facing the old office.
Never take Kane through there. Walks up to the office.
Huh. Kane wouldn't be allowed in the shade.
How is that so? Is that because of what he is or what he does?
Yes.
Fair enough. She's checking all of her wards to make sure that she didn't like set the door to blow up or something after she left. And everything's just kind of old and dilapidated. Like after she kind of went into her depressive slump, she had stopped like putting so much effort into it. So she's just got the most basic stuff. She's gonna kind of reach up and sort of pull a little bit of salt off of the windowsill, and like the whole ward just falls. And then she'll like dig around for her keys, shrug, and then beat her door down.
Yeah, and like I said, as you do that with the little bit of salt and dispel your ward, we see with the site basically there's this whole, it looks like as if winter snow just kind of goes off the whole place. It looks like silvery winter snow sparkles kind of drop off the office, and
sluggish and sad.
And you force the door, and you're in the old office.
She just kind of like looks around. It's dark.
Belle, are you standing guard outside, or are you going in?
I'll go in since she's torn down a ward, and
Okay.
I can follow in.
Okay.
Light is streaming in through the windows. She just kind of looks around, kind of takes it in for a moment, and then before she gets too sentimental, she's gonna rush in. There's dust on the floor, which she kicks up as she goes and she starts opening up drawers looking for her satchel.
Yeah, as you're standing there, the desk drawer you open up, and you can't believe you left a partial bottle of hooch in there next to your satchel. And you pull the drawer open, and the circle on the desk lights. It fills the space. Beltane, you don't see this. It fills the space, and slowly blood red light traces an entire diagram of something of magical sorts or whatever, and it says, "I knew you'd be back." Hi, Rue.
She just kind of stares at it for a second, and she's gonna glance up at Belle and like notice he doesn't see it. And she's going to respond mentally to see if it reacts at all.
Okay. What does she say?
I'm back.
And you notice that is it's the circle that you burned in your desk by putting a metal trash can and trying to burn the magic book on. And you say that, and it we knew you would be. It's been a while. Do you want this? And out of the desk, the book sort of begins to just appear out of the desk.
She hasn't stopped getting out her satchel, but she has slowed a little bit. And she's just going to open up the satchel, put the hooch in, and then just kind of like sit there for a second and then try to slide the book into her satchel.
Okay. Beltane, give me a moxie roll.
Okay. 12.
Okay. Beltane, she slides something into her satchel off the desk. You're not sure what it was, but you actually with a 12, you notice that there was something there, whether it was pens or whatever, you don't know. And for us, the audience, it's a different magic at work. This is literally, again, for people who haven't been caught up, this is literally the devil, hell. Is this some kind of deceptive hell magic? So it's outside the realm of Fae. That's why it's obscured to Belle, even with her immense power, or his immense power. So yeah, so the book goes into the satchel. Belle thinks it's pens or something, but if there's something picking at your mind, that something's weird, but not enough for you to like say anything now.
Mhm.
It's one of those back thoughts that may come up later. And in Rue's head, we hear, well, now we can get down to business. You want that werewolf?
Oh God. I hate to do this to you.
Hmm.
Right now is not the best time to talk.
And this is mental.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like her eyes flicker up to Belle.
You okay,
And then she looks back down at the circle. And she's going to pull like a silver dagger out of her satchel, like, and in a very quick movement, she says in her head, we'll be in touch. Don't call me, I'll call you. And then she breaks the circle by gouging her desk.
All right. Belle, you catch that she takes a dagger out, a silver dagger, and she like sticks it in the desk, as far as you can tell, in anger, like werewolves. And we're gonna go with your 13 or 12. You rolled a 12 or a 13. We're gonna say that for just a second, there was a flash of red in her eyes. Maybe. She must be pissed. Maybe she's got something magical in that bag, in her hunter's kit. Maybe the dagger itself is magic.
Yank the dagger out. She has to wiggle it a little bit first, and she tosses it back into her satchel, closes it up all nice and pretty, slings it over her shoulder. Okay, let's go.
I'm impressed, actually. As he turns around and goes down the stairs. You broke the circle you formed. It's not an easy thing to do. I mean, most practitioners who break their first circle well.
Oh, you think that was my first? You think that was my first circle break?
I've been doing occult magic detect.
Oh.
You again, a quick flashback to New Orleans, vampire ball, opera house on fire, Rue candles, summoning something.
I think we lost Jen.
Beltane has the
there we go.
scars from that dispelling of that circle.
And that's where we kind of juxtapose with the bigger scene, and then Belle, we come in on Belle looking at the scars, and then we proceed back. We switch to the office. As they walk towards the office door, we switched back to the alley, and we hear, oh come on, oh. And we hear bones cracking, and out of the shadow, Kane, you see all of a sudden, you see like probably, at first you see like 3 or 4 sets of lupine eyes, just the animal-like eyes light up in the dark.
The predator sheen.
Yeah, and you hear the like I said, bones cracking, and then just a mountain of a man steps forward, and he's tightening his tie, and he's like, "Hey, Lilith,
You're late.
you got the truck. Oh, me and the boys." And then out of the darkness, like 6 other werewolves step out of the darkness with Biggie, and he's like, I can't seem to do the hats. Boys, you got that? And one of the werewolves opens a bag and hands him a hat. The rest of their clothes, for some reason, they were able to morph with, but he takes the hat and he, kind of snaps it out and puts it on his head all rakish, and he's like, "Well, you got the truck. What's up?"
What's left of it?
Kane looks at the number of werewolves, looks at the amount of time he has left on his pocket watch. Werewolves, pocket watch. Then, you see, a grim reality set in, just oh, this would fuck me up. All right. Time to be respectful.
we switch out to a little cartoon side reality where there's a werewolf, a cartoon werewolf walking along with your bone hand in its mouth.
Oh yeah, it's Steamboat Willie style because of the era.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, yeah.
What?
Oh, that's a damn shame. What? Another load?
Yes, another one. It seems you haven't been doing your job right.
Well, it's got to be. Is my boy okay?
He's inside.
All right. Well, we're gonna have to go and talk to him. We'll figure this out. I know it's been rough, but something's going on. It can't be another gang. It's got to be imps or something.
Right, of course.
We know what it is.
Who are you?
He's no one you should be concerned about.
I'm one of Lilith's employees.
No, he's not.
Mr. B hired me.
Hey, yeah, Keys. I know. I've heard you.
Ah, that's the kind of pre-legacy I like to have.
Yeah, you're not bad on the squeeze box and all that. I'm gonna go talk to my boy. We'll figure this out. Sorry, Lilith. Boys, you come with you guys. Look at the truck. See if we can get it home. And he walks upstairs. Lilith, are you going with him, or what are you doing?
I'm letting them go first, and then I look at Kane's do you ever just be quiet?
Look, I did the math on this one. There's a group of them. There's one of me. I'm pretty good at not dying, but pretty good isn't the best at it. And if it's pretty good versus an entire pack, I think I'll show some courtesy.
I unfortunately cannot let you die. You are important to the detective.
So you
Plus,
do care.
that is a very strong assumption.
Eh.
Very strong assumption. You're important to the detective, and Beltane seems to like you for some odd reason that I can't comprehend.
I feel like he's just waiting to trick me. At any
Hold on.
moment.
Hold on to that feeling. Listen, I don't completely hate you. You have an annoying quality about you where you just want to punch you in the face, but you can't.
One could describe that as one of my abilities. It's having a very punchable face.
Yes, you do have a very punchable face, but you are persistent. So, you can come with if you stay quiet, or you can stay with the werewolves.
I thought we were going with the werewolves.
There are 3 werewolves out here.
Oh, I'll go with you.
So Biggie and the 2 went in to talk to his boy, and 4 of them are out here
Oh, I'll go with Lilith.
Okay.
I don't want to be alone with werewolves.
I'll pay you extra to just be quiet.
You got yourself a deal.
Kane, give me a moxie roll.
That right there is a 6.
Okay. All right. You you burst out laughing and one of the werewolves like snaps his head and looks at you. This werewolf has a skirt. He's wearing a plaid skirt, and it's got like a bunny head on the front. It's like a fur bunny head on the front of his plaid skirt, and he's got he's got kind of a
like lederhosen kind of,
almost like a he's wearing a kilt, but almost like a pirate shirt, and he's got a coonskin cap and a necklace of bones, and you're just like, what the hell? How did I not notice this guy? And yeah, like I said, you burst out laughing, and he looks over at you, and he's like, "What are you looking at? You got a problem?"
No, none.
Kane?
I'm so sorry, Miss Lilith.
And Lilith, you didn't even notice it. You have other things on your mind, and so Kane catches up to you. Also, too, being as old as you are, you've seen plenty of people in kilts and whatnot.
He was wearing a dress.
He was wearing a kilt, Kane. He's Irish.
No, I don't know what that means. It was a dress.
It wasn't a dress. Kane, now be
A
quiet.
skirt. You're right. I'm sorry.
No. It's...
And his knees were showing.
Kane,
some people
remember what I said about paying you extra?
You said in the room.
No, I said just be quiet.
That's going to be very difficult, Lilith.
Try hard for me.
I'll do my best. How about that?
You know how I said you have a very punchable face? You
That
also have
I
a
do.
very breakable neck.
You can try, but I dance to my own tempo.
I'm sure it won't kill you, but I'm sure it'll hurt like hell.
Oh, it'll be bad.
Now be quiet. Exactly. And she'll keep walking.
And as you're walking through, Lilith, like some of your orc boys are like, what's going on, boss? Do I need to call more boys? First we bring in a broken werewolf, and now Biggie's here.
Yes, but just keep calm. I want 4 of you to supervise those werewolves outside. No
Okay.
funny business.
All right. And they walk off. Okay, you enter the room, and Biggie's like, so that's the thing. There's like you got the window broke and you got hit, and that's all you know. And he's like, I'm sorry, boss. Yeah, that's all I know. We try to be quiet. We try to sneak through. Most of the trip I didn't even have the lights on. And when I entered town, I was out on 54, and I came up and crossed. I literally saw the sign for town, and bam, the window exploded and something hit me in the side of the head. I thought it was like a shotgun blast or something. Says Biggie. So Lilith, what do you know? We got nothing here.
I don't know why I expected more. I want to say that she walks in and she doesn't sit at her desk. She kind of sits on her desk, and she takes out a cigarette and lights it. So we see like it's dim, but we see the lighter just flick and like light up her face, and has that
With holder or just cigarette plain?
a withholder.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like, whoa, that could mean a lot of different things. Like, she's so agitated. She's like, I don't even need the holder. I'm just gonna. Okay, all right. But she's being like,
she has to keep. She's agitated, but she has to keep.
Yep.
A face up.
Okay.
Especially around Biggie.
Okay.
So we see that. And she crosses her legs, and she has one leg crossed over, and she's sitting on her desk. She's like, so, you didn't see anything at all?
No, no, ma'am. The like I said, I thought shotgun had blown through my brain.
And did you pass out right after?
Everything went black.
No smells, no sounds.
Yeah. So
Wait, I have my fake cigarette holder.
nice. Woo. All right. Props. And he says, "Oh, it was a funny smell, like a pocket watch, or it was iron. It was I smelled iron, and I smelled gold, maybe there was some gold, uh maybe. And give me a charm roll, Lilith.
I'm gonna have to roll because I forgot my dice all the way across the room. So I'm gonna
Okay.
use a dice roller. One
Woo-woo.
second.
Sure.
I was gonna get them at the break and I forgot. 2d6.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, 2 sixes plus 3. So that is a 18.
All right. Under your baleful gaze of vampire goodness, he is coerced into remembering more details. And he says there was a beer smell and a whiskey smell and rum. There was rum. There was definitely rum. And a hideous laugh. Yeah, like a goat laughing. Maybe it was a goat. I don't know. They were horrible, like a child goat laugh. I don't know. Something's going on.
A
And
child goat laugh.
yeah, but there was no goat smell. I know a goat when I smells a goat.
All right. Anything else?
Nope. That's all I got. And Biggie's like, all right, from now on, normally you send a werewolf in a truck, you put 2 guys in a truck, a cop is gonna pull it over. But 1 guy in a truck, that's normal. From now on, extra werewolves, extra boys, we're gonna be working overtime. We got
You don't have to worry about the cops, dear.
well, not here, but these trucks come from Appalachia. These
Keep an extra werewolf in the back.
good thinking. All right, boys, you got it. Good, that's a good plan. We'll keep a boy in the back. And you know what? For extra we'll give him a couple of the, we got it. We got it, Lilith.
You what?
We're the Tommy guns. I got a new shipment of Tommy guns. All my boys can have them now. We'll rip the place apart if we need to.
That is perfect. And that is why I hire you, Biggie.
Thanks. And you said higher, and for just a second, his lupine eyes appear in just a bit of a snarl, because he doesn't say anything here, but it's a partnership as far as he's concerned, and you just made him out to be the not alpha dog in front of the boys, but he lets it slide, in this moment.
That I appreciate you doing that. I appreciate your partnership as well.
Well, we got it handled. We're gonna take our boy and head for the hills. He kind of chuckles to himself because someone just said Appalachia. And
right. Goodbye.
right. Well, we're working on the whole, more moonshine coming through. So that's what the whole Appalachia deal is. So expect the good hooch. I mean, this stuff's you could run a truck on it. And then he turns and good night, y'all. And he tips his hat, and the werewolves exit. Kane,
Bye.
sorry, you
No,
just
I
waved?
was just silently waving.
Nice.
Then as soon as the werewolves have gone, just ahem.
Kane, give me a brains roll.
Why brains?
I know.
Why brains? We can re-roll with a luck point, right?
I think it's 3 to reroll.
Yeah, 3 luck points to
I'll
reroll.
do it.
Okay.
Because I had
All right.
2 1s.
Okay. All right.
Ooh, that's a 6.
Okay. All right. Again, as the werewolves are, like the last werewolf's about out the door, and you can't help yourself. That guy was wearing a skirt. It's just so ridiculous. And you just you start to laugh, and the last werewolf looks at you, and he looks at Lilith.
Don't worry about him, dear. He's brain damaged.
And
I was dropped on my head as a child.
And he closes he closes the door. Lilith, you have a feeling that his failure is gonna cost you. That laugh, the werewolves are gonna be like, this is not this was a politically bad thing.
He was wearing a skirt. How did you not
Kane,
see it?
I will murder you.
Oh,
You're costing me.
I could die happy. I ain't never seen something so preposterous
I'm gonna have
in
to
my
pay
whole
them
life.
extra. I'm going to have to send them more booze.
It didn't matter if he was wearing a bone necklace. Oh, I'm so intimidating, me wearing bones. He was in a skirt, Lilith.
Lilith's gonna slap him upside the head.
And he had a bunny face where his crotch was supposed to be.
You've not seen the humor in this. I have paid more money for worst stand-up improvisational comedy than I have in this very moment.
Now you don't get your money.
Beltane, if you would be so kind as to roll a, let's just roll 2d6, and you can adjust with luck if you want.
Okay. Math in my head. 10.
Okay. All right. You step out of, in our scene, you step out of the tree on the boulevard with Rue, and we see the truck has just rumbled past with Biggie and the boys are all in the back of the truck because they ran here.
Mm-hmm.
Werewolf form, so they didn't have a car or anything, so now they're all riding in the truck, and we see that, and it's the thing where Rue's there, and like the hairs on the back of Rue's neck stand up, and this truck full of werewolves drives by. But Rue, you just think that it's something weird with the Fae stepping through the tree kind of thing, but we as the audience get this weird like ooh perspective, and that we see that, and then we cut to you guys all together again. Where do we go from here? I want to jump ahead just a little bit because we're hitting the last half hour. So I'll say, let's not play it out. What's the plan from this point?
Find the Fae.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll say maybe we can call them on by their coin.
Let's try that. You're the expert.
You're saying there's going to be more of those coins.
If the negotiation goes well, we can ask for this coin as part of the trade-off for
I'm in.
booze. All right.
Beltane, make sure you also pay the werewolves extra and send them apology alcohol, because Kane can't keep his mouth shut.
What?
As-
Do you not
as they're
see how
discuss-
funny a werewolf in a dress is?
He was wearing a kilt.
It's a skirt at most.
As they're discussing this, Rue is drawing a circle in the ground.
Oh God.
Kilts are warriors' dress, Kane. We will go over the fineries of history. You should be more like Riley, a studious
Be like who?
person.
Like
The kid.
Fitz, Kane.
The kid. I get it. No, I look. All right, I'm smart. All right, maybe not book smart, but I got street smarts.
You're very clever, Kane.
Kane, lift your foot.
What?
Rue, what are you drawing?
Standing in the way of my circle. I grab his
Rue?
foot and lift it.
I'll
Rue.
just like pop it up
We're gonna
ever
need
so.
some way to bind this Fae.
Oh no.
No. No.
What exactly is your backup plan if this goes awry?
Say their name. Naturally.
Hope he's made of gold.
Yes, Rue.
You got any spells that can do that?
You know what? No, actually, I like Rue's circle idea.
Belton, I am trusting you. Your pet, she points to Kane, has already cost me, I can tell.
Kane's just itching his head like a
Yeah.
dog.
Don't worry. They know the laws of invading a Fae's territory. This is a courtesy.
Right, let's go with it then.
Besides, I have territorial rights here, and they don't.
Very
Alright,
true.
Do we want to go over this one more time? Exactly what we're offering them?
Booze, territory to guard the borders. They get the cut of the bourbon, the good bourbon, because let's be honest, it's not popular right now.
And no punishment for stealing from my court and
There we go.
taking what's mine.
Punishment, hence the circle.
It needs to have the spring emblem there.
A spring of what now?
He shows Rue how to mark the symbol of spring. They're from my court, to be frank.
Ah.
So it's it'll end up being a little more specific. You've got a general binding circle going on, Rue. And for that, let's give me some brains. And Beltane, if you would roll also brains, if you succeed, you will give Rue a bonus.
Awesome. $11.
All right. So Rue, you've got a +2.
Only because his intelligence is really high.
All right. Exactly. 7.
Oh,
I
that's
needed
that's
it.
with the +2.
That's with the +2.
Okay. All right. All right.
It's
well,
it's a partial success.
Yes. Yeah. You know this will work. Beltane, you're pretty sure she's got it.
Well,
it's not how
It's
you
a
would.
lesson.
You're
You're
gonna
willing
wanna-
to let her learn.
Yeah.
You're gonna
Well,
want
and
to stay
it's
away from this one.
and it's also too. It's a not. It's not your magic, Belle.
Mhm.
This is some weird mojo that you know.
Yeah. He's been trapped in face circles before. He doesn't
Alright.
like them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. So for safety's sake, I recommend summoning him into the circle. I don't know
Alright.
how well that's going to go over, if that's going to affect our negotiations, but I assume letting him out is going to be a nice little
Bargaining.
benefit
Hold
to
on.
our side.
Whiskey. I go get some whiskey. Hand it to Rue. Set it in the center of the circle as an offering.
She takes a swig first, and,
And
drops
you
it.
know you'll need the coin.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah. Lilith, if you can. I can't enter this circle. I do not want to enter it.
Okay. So you lay the whiskey and the coin out. And then Rue, are you gonna try the summoning, or are you gonna have Belle try the summoning?
Want to do it or should I?
Together.
Okay. You
He
take the
places
lead.
his hand just outside the circle. 3?
Rue, you hear. I got your back. From the book.
Thank you for following Kami Hacker.
Yay!
GB.
Yeah.
All right, Kami Hacker. When someone joins the channel and I'm on, I take this maul and I hit that guy in the face.
Yes.
We love a good clang.
All right. So Belle says 3. Rue
Mhm.
says 2.
1.
And then
We
All right.
press my
Yeah.
hand down on the floor.
Give me some moxie rolls.
Amazing.
so I think
Oh,
Belle
boy,
says the name and Rue guides the magic.
Nice. 9.
6.
Y'all can
Okay.
re-roll.
Yeah, or add some luck points.
Yeah.
I'll add a luck point, I think.
Okay.
We don't do re-rolls with luck points. We just add them to our
You can
rolls, right?
spend 3 luck points for a reroll or add 1 for 1.
Okay. I'm gonna do 1 for 1.
Okay. And Rue, you're a professor, you're a studier, you've got some magic going on, but it's really going to, like, this is gonna fail. This is gonna fail bad. And you feel it failing. Belle, you're like, oh, we got this. And you feel her wobble a bit, and then it suddenly solidifies.
He looks very impressed and proud of her for a moment.
And Rue, you hear the voice be like, yeah, we did it. I got you. I told you. See, we're gonna get that werewolf. Let's get this over with. We got things to do, you and I.
A minute since I've done this last.
And you say that out loud?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So as that occurred, there's this, like, you hear how to put this. Kane, you hear exactly horrible stereotype Irish, St. Patty's Day, kind of music. The rest of you hear like a war horn, like an ancient war horn, like a bass.
Oh, that sounds awful.
And as this form begins to take shape, Kane, you see there's a midget in green with a little bowler hat and little red mutton chops and red
Puts a hand up, turns around,
and
like takes a few steps back, hands on his sides, and you can see him just like taking some deep breaths. He doesn't want to lose his face like he did in front of Lilith again, which he's already threatened to snap his neck and make it look like an accident.
be a fortitude roll.
Oh God. Well, at least I'm somewhat all right with these. That's a 7.
All right. And he's got like a gigantic sized beer mug, and beer is sloshing out of it. And
Like a big baby.
he's got little patent leather shoes with like bright gold buttons or buckles.
It's not bad.
And it's fake gold. It's tin that's painted. There's not even electroplating on this. This is tin that's painted. And such, but you've managed to keep the laughter down. The rest of you, however, you hear this deep resonating war horn, and though of wee stature, this warrior begins to materialize, and he's it's almost like baby Groot, You see that it's kind of a tree looking. He's almost made of wood, and his above his head is like the spikes of Groot, but they're very like almost like a thorny crown appears, and though his skin is of bark, he's wearing iron armor. He's got like massive pauldrons. It's almost like I don't know if you guys have ever seen my armor, but it's like a lobster build, like kind of like the Roman armor, the plate armor of Rome, but made of iron. And in his hand, he has an iron cudgel. Beltane, this would rip into you. He's like, he is a Fey guardian. And Kane, you hear top of the morning to you. What can I do for you? And the rest of you hear, why?
You've taken something that doesn't belong to you.
Negotiations require titles, my dear.
And you are?
I am Beltane of the Spring Court, of the Twilight Court, Lilith's right hand, and this is just a formality, dear guardian.
Is she of the court? And he's looking at you with total contempt, Lilith, like you are some hideous monster.
We are a new court, dear guardian, of life and death. It's a court separated from the old world. She negotiates on our behalf.
And she's a lady. Show some respect.
And you hear that war horn noise comes from this teeny little, like 3 foot tall individual. It's the rumble in its chest is beguiling of its size. Kane,
I just have to leave.
The whole time you're hearing that horrible stereotype accent where it was like, oh good golly, why couldn't you call me Leprechauns? I would have come right away, and
Sounds awful helpful.
Yeah.
Kane's just gonna go. He's just gonna leave to the back room where his musical instrument was. He's gonna find his accordion, the one that Beltane gave him, and then he'll come back out eventually and just hope that this whole thing, because he can't
go to the other room and start playing loudly.
As you're going there, the only song that you can hear in your head is "Magically Delicious." It's that's sort of that horrible kind of Irish dance kind of music.
It's a Kaylee is all that it is.
Yeah. And none of you notice that he leaves, and he's the individual says, "I am known as Fergus McLary."
Nice to meet you, Fergus McLary. I am Lilith, the lady of the Twilight Court, and whose alcohol you have been stealing.
Guarding.
Stealing.
He snaps. Guarding.
How can you be guarding something that's not yours?
It's all mine. And Beltane, you're like, what the hell? And kind of right. They are the guardians of alcohol, but why the hell is he here?
If I may, Mistress Lilith.
Mm-hmm.
Lord Fergus, why are you in the new world? Your home is in the old. Have you been banished from the courts?
No. I found myself here.
You were displaced.
No, the rainbow was here. It brought me.
Oh.
this land. And he explains it as magic, but Beltane, you get the feel that literally the making alcohol, the prohibition itself is what called him here. The need for someone to guard all this. Look at, there's alcohol everywhere and people aren't supposed to have it. And you know that by basically a type of Bifrost like bridge, he was put here to guard the alcohol.
Oh, wow. So the funny thing is, Mistress Lady Harker, humans created this problem.
Great.
No. Prohibition he's doing his job.
And
Yes.
and Belle, give me a no, it'll come up later. Never mind.
Are you telling me that he has adopted prohibition and become the spirit of prohibition?
Oh no, yes, he has. This is fantastic. Ferguson, you have to learn to like jazz now.
Should we tell him?
What is this jazz you
No.
speak of?
Fergus, no. Fergus, you see, I bought that alcohol and you have taken it from me, as well as you have come into where my court is settled. You have not asked permission. You have taken what is of somebody else's, and you have cost me dearly. So.
And the whole time, it's just face is just wooden. So,
I would like to see if we can get into some sort of negotiation as to how I can get my wares back.
and that rumble goes on for nearly a minute, as you can see his little wooden brain is like, ownership. No, yeah, I am spirit of. There is no ownership. And the payment he kind of understands, and you get that feel as this rumble goes on for like a minute. Belle, give me a another brains roll. Rue, if you would like to know thy enemy, that would be applicable at this point.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what I'm supposed to do.
All right, I'm gonna use
Holy shit! 12. I don't need to know thy enemy.
Okay, and Belle.
I'm gonna re-roll with a luck point.
Okay.
3 luck points.
3 luck points. Give you a
3
reroll.
luck points. Oh, cool. That's way better. It's way better. 6, 7, 8.
Okay. So you know that under Fey law, he's the spirit of. It'd be like saying, "Hey, river."
Yeah.
You don't own the water, and the river's like, I am the water. What the hell? And so you were gonna have to try to figure out a way to get that across to him, or make him some other deal. Rue, it dawns on you. You're like, okay. Let me think. How are they associated with the pot of gold? There's got to be a pot of gold portion here we're missing. That really rings in your professor mind.
About the gold.
Kane, you start playing in the next room.
Like I have to play louder than the Kaylee music jig that I hear whenever, especially if this dude, if I hear it when he makes the war horn sound and he just did it for over a minute straight.
Yes.
Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are
And
calling.
that's totally, that's exactly what's sort of ringing in your ears as this rumble it permeates the room. At one point, a gnome does run in, Lilith, and is like, "What, boss? What's going on? What the hell? There's a what the hell is that?" He points at the
courtesy. Okay, what's going on?
Well, everybody can hear that.
Don't worry about it. Just it's fine.
Should we shut down? The people are freaking out.
I-
It's like 4 a.m. So
Yes, you can just send everybody home. It's fine.
oh, gotcha.
It's bedtime.
And he gnomes his way out of there. So
Belton just has a pure look of joy on his face about all of this mess going on around him. The music, the Ferguson, the gnome. He's just like,
and
yeah.
Rue said something about gold.
Yeah.
and gold.
So, what about the gold? And then she like looks over at Belle and says, "What are you so happy about?"
It's what reminds me of my younger years, I have to say.
Well, I'm glad you're having fun.
I'm
I'm definitely not.
Rue, in your head, you hear, "I can banish him. I'll take him out right now. No problem."
You're a little too eager to please. You know that?
Are you saying that in your mind?
I think she says that out loud.
Excuse me?
What?
Nothing.
I'm just trying to help you. We can make this happen quick.
She says this in her mind. Thanks. Like I said, don't call me. I'll call you.
Why, of course, dear lady. And you hear the voice like gets distant, though you know it's right there in your satchel.
He pretends to walk away.
Exactly.
Down.
Like gadunk, 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 you know.
What about the gold? There's like a missing element here. He's supposed to have something to do with a pot of gold, right?
And at the mention of gold, there is a gleam in his eye.
The accordion stops.
Is that what you want? Do you want gold? Are we just gonna have to pay him off?
Are you missing your pot of gold, Ferguson?
Yes.
Ooh.
Harker's gonna go and like dig through all of the detritus that we have like left in the corner, and she's gonna go lift that pot handle.
All right, and bang, he bounces against the barrier preternaturally quick, like Lilith beast form quick.
Yeah,
he almost blurred and then bounced off.
Lilith is gonna take out the coin that she had.
Okay, and at this you hear the wood like the creaking of a tree. He looks at you. And his eyes glow with the gold of the sun kind of look.
Oh, you want that back, do you?
And wooden face.
I mean, there's a thing or two that we want from you.
What exactly happened to your pot of gold?
Belle, something clicks. Remember I said something from earlier?
Mm-hmm.
Something clicks to you that somehow the rainbow brought him here. And if something happened to the pot of gold.
Yeah. I'll turn to them. It has to be daylight for it to appear. And there has to be rain.
And you know he can't get back without the pot of gold.
There are some terrible realities of the stories about the fair folk, and The pot of gold at the end of the rainbow is unfortunately one of them.
So we're supposed to hunt down every coin in that pot of gold.
Oh, we just need a rainbow.
Someone stole my gold.
Who stole your gold?
I don't know, but you're holding the handle to my pot.
And it was found in the wreckage of my van that somebody stole from. Did you steal from my van?
No, I guard. I don't steal.
Did you take what you were supposed to guard from my van?
No.
Did you displace the alcohol that was in the van and just put it somewhere else where you can guard it safely?
Do you know where that gold came from? Or do you know who took your gold? You're just looking for it? You don't know who took it?
I have no idea.
But we found this, she picks it up, in that car that a werewolf was driving, she says, pointing at Lilith.
Nasty German things. Werewolves.
Terrible.
Okay, I don't know if I agree with the German part, but yeah, nasty things. Exactly.
Werewolves originated in Germany.
Cool, great. I don't care where they originated.
Said the professor of the occult.
Kane is in the room, right? When the gold talk starts?
When the gold talk starts, it's one of those, like, accordion music stops, head pokes out.
Yeah.
He's slowly been getting closer.
But he's, like, trying his damnedest to, like, stay ever so behind other people so the view of this mascot, like, Notre Dame football fighting Irish style leprechaun is always blocked because he can't. It's too much.
So again, as usual, I'm running out of time. So we will I guess Belle and Rue, you put it together that someone is using the pot of gold to lure this guy to Lilith's alcohol. Mm-hmm.
Ferguson, I have an offer to extend to you.
Yes.
Fay to Fay. When was the last time you were on a wild hunt?
Long ago, with Lou himself, the Irish king.
I remember those days. I think we've met at the same time. You're much younger then.
To the deal, Beltane.
Oh, yes. You and I, Ferguson, wild hunt together to find your gold. We don't harm the innocents. That is a rule I implement here in the court, and we do not harm our friends. But those who do harm or hunt down are the people who stole your gold.
All right. And again, for expedience sake, so what you find, so are you just going to release, basically call a wild hunt?
Yeah.
Okay.
Beltane's calling a wild hunt before spring.
Are you going to include Lilith, Rue, and Kane as part of the hunt?
Yeah, I'll include them as part of the people we protect. Ferguson cannot hurt them.
Okay.
And we can not harm him as part of this wild hunt.
All right. So as you do the necessary preparations, Rue, you keep hearing these every time they say like wild hunt and anything related to killing comes up, you hear these little yes, we can do this.
She's gonna
and Rue, when the we can do this, you suddenly you found your hand in your pocket, kind of idly touching your pistol.
That's oh fuck.
So
No.
basically, you're going to be, if you become part of the Wild Hunt, you're going to be letting loose your inner animal, your hunting instincts.
Okay.
Do you do anything about that, or do you let it proceed?
Mm, I have an idea on like how to proceed with Rue in general. So if there's no coming back from this, then the answer is no. But if it's a temporary situation, then yeah, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, it is a temporary situation that you basically you're gonna give the devil just a teeny little foothold for just a little while.
That's a part of the long-term plan.
It's a little devil, you know, as a treat.
As a treat.
It's a treat.
Well, and it's for a good cause. Sometimes you gotta do bad to
Exactly.
do good.
Yeah, no, she's on board for this.
All right.
At least a little bit.
Again, I had a couple more stages in here, but what ends up happening is the Wild Hunt is called, and as you in Jen, I would totally ask for some description on this. Maybe in the after show we can talk about what this really looks like and whatnot. But as the Wild Hunt is called, you move as a pack, and you race through town, and you go into you end up at one of Biggie's warehouses. And as the Wild Hunt bursts through the doors, the werewolves turn, and some of them instantly turn into werewolves, not out of like it's fight time, but they just can't help themselves. They suddenly their bestial nature, with the moon so close, they turn and change. Their hackles all rise, and they leap to your side, and as you get in there, Fergus's eyes are like beams of golden sunlight, and they swing to that kilted werewolf.
Oh my god.
The kilted werewolf didn't change. He looks like a very scared human being. And Rue, what's going on?
Uh-oh.
What am I doing?
Oh no.
Blang,
Whoops.
blang, as round after, you're not controlling your hand, as round after round is squeezed into the chest of this werewolf. He, gangster movie style, slow motion, he goes falling backwards and falls dead. And the werewolves who were with you, Biggie's not there, the werewolves who were with you leap on him and shred him. They just tear him to shreds. And I don't normally in this game leave cliffhangers, but that's where we'll end.
Wait, so we have werewolves on our side that are fighting the other werewolves?
The werewolf, one single werewolf,
But
was
he was a
singled out by the
Scotsman.
wild, he was singled out by the wild as
okay.
the target of the Wild Hunt.
Okay.
They were recruited into the Wild Hunt just as by the nature of what they
Okay, now I
Yeah,
understand.
their bestial nature caused them to join.
Okay.
And like I said, at that, as he's falling and you know he hits the ground, that's where it snaps credits, and we'll talk some in Knights of the Courtyard. And I'm
Yes.
sorry to say this, but next month we're gonna pick up from where we left off.
Yes. I want to know what my Wild Hunt form looks like. I'm so excited.
It's gotta be spooky.
Oh, we all gotta be spooky as fuck! All right, so with that, thank you, GB, for running this wonderful game. I always have an absolute blast whenever we can play Monster Noire. It's a good time. And speaking of having a good time, Graybeard, where can we find you? What do you do?
I'm Graybeard of Graybeard's Tavern, and you can check out Graybeard Tavern at on Twitter. That'll have my whole schedule. Oh, it's wrong right now, but I'll try to fix it tomorrow. And my next game coming up is tomorrow at 4 p.m., where old Graybeard plays Dr. Verrucht, the steampunk zombie fighting vampire friend. Blood.
Just blood.
Metropolis. Am I better now?
Yeah, you're better now. You
Yeah.
froze
Okay.
right at blood, but then it said blood Metropolis. And then you
Metropolis.
kept going, so, like, honestly, not bad.
Yeah. So anyway, that's over on Encounter Roleplay. Join me there. Check out the rest of my schedule. And I adore this game and I adore these folks. So we'll pass it on to who's ever next.
All right. And Satan, where can we find you? What do you do?
Hi everyone, I am Satan, and you can find me at Alyssa Vamp on Twitter with 2 P's. And I play here at once a month, every Wednesday, with these amazing people. Play Lilith, Vampire Monster, at your service. Every Saturday at 8 o'clock p.m. EST, because time zones are a thing. You can find me over at Blood Hunters, which is my main channel. We're an all POC LGBTQ plus group, so if you like supporting those spaces, come and watch us and watch me play my buff barbarian Babelina, because I love her. And every Sunday morning at 8:30 EST AM, because I hate myself, I DM Nexus Adventures over at the Hype Goblins channel, where I am building my own little homebrew world, and Jenna's a part of it, and so is other friends, and then we have guests like GB and Indoor, who's been on there, and Danae, who's been on there, and everybody here has been on there, and I hope you come watch us. And then I think this Friday we have Slot March. Yes.
Damn it, Barry. Yep.
Over at Databerry's channel, you can come over and every other Friday, including this Friday, we're playing Ghost of Swap March, where I play my Tiefling Warlock Cataclysmia. She's a little sweetheart. And yeah, anything else I'll post on my Twitter, go follow me on Twitter if you want to know more.
And Danae.
Hi everybody, my name's Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com. I do nerdy drawings mostly related to D&D and a lot of things on this channel. You can find me here on Mondays playing as Corey under the Eldrin Paladin, and sometimes on Wednesdays during our very own Monster Noire. DanaeKeener.com.
And Jen.
Hi, I'm Jen. You can find me every Sunday over at the Hype Goblins channel, playing at 1:30 BST GMT, because can't decide on a time zone. I'm also here every once a month playing Monster Noire, and I play Overwatch with some of these lovely people as well over at the Hype Goblins channel, and I take people through my homebrew world over at the Ladrin's channel every other Thursday, and we have a lot of fun.
Excellent. And if you've made it this far, you probably already know who I am. But if you don't, hey Acorns, how's it going? It's me, your buddy, your pal, your friend, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at twitch.tv/Indoor Adventures. We do shows like this Mondays. Tuesdays are no longer a thing that we do. Thursdays at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and starting on, hopefully, fingers crossed, March 29th at, I believe, 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, we are going to be starting the Tomb of Annihilation that also takes place in a noir-style setting. So if you've wanted the Forgotten Realms but set way, way far in the future with things like gunpowder, hey, Tomb of Annihilation will be the game for you. Other than that, we also have our Patreon set up. So if you would like to help support the show, keep it self-sustaining through these trying times, consider going to patreon.com/indoor adventures, where you can also not only get access to our Discord, but also get available to you our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from the community, but also from each other in a podcast-like form. So with that, we are going to be heading off to Nights in the Courtyard, but I would like to say again, thank you to GB for running such an excellent game. Thank you to all of these players for agreeing to play, and we will see you guys next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye!
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands!